Alrighty, I'm gonna try to make this as short as possible and get to the point. I've tried to record this a few times already, but I feel like I'm not doing a good enough job, so I thought I'll try to do better this time. So my whole thing is, you shouldn't be going for these limited characters, these particular limited characters. The reason is, they're kind of scaled for what we have available right now, right? In terms of story, in terms of events. And because the game just came out, these events are already super easy. So you really don't need these characters to make it further. Like you don't need to make it even more easier. You really don't, right? You can get a good character like Ekaku, and get Byakuya or Kisuke, and that's more than enough for you to 100% the game right now. And that's exactly what I did. At level 70 Ekaku, there's nothing in this game that can withstand this guy. I've completed I've done the whole story. There's literally nothing left for me to do, right? And that's just with these guys. I don't need these limited characters. And I don't need to complete a team either. I don't care about a full complete thrust team. I don't care about a full complete slash team. I don't care. Just putting these guys on one team, these three guys together, is more than enough for me to clear everything. That's one reason, because I don't need to summon. That's why I'm not going to summon. The second reason is, again, it's kind of the same thing where it's like these guys are scaled for the content we have now. They're not scaled for the content we're gonna get. And this isn't like, I'm talking about like a year down in the future. I'm not talking about anniversary. I'm not talking about 8 months down the line. I'm saying we're talking about 1 or 2 months, maybe even 3, right? If you're gonna push it that much, maybe 3 months. We're gonna see the next difficulty spike in this game. And these characters right here, I can almost guarantee you these characters are going to be... No one's going to be using these guys. I can almost promise you that. Because that's how these games work. They got the format of this game from Honkai Star Rail, and I played that for a while, since it came out. And fair enough, it's not completely the same. They've kind of they took the format of that, tweaked it, and made it better. And, made their own game out of it. But it's quite similar. And you really don't want to be in a position like this. Whenever you read the comments, there's always someone saying, no Jades, I'm broke, this and that. And then you go on YouTube and you got YouTube people saying stuff like, oh, someone on this character, you need him. And you need that other character that's coming next. Someone on him too. And then you get someone on another character. With what tickets, sir? We're not getting enough tickets to do all that. But people will try to convince you that, nah, you're going to have enough by the end of the event and this and that. It's all nonsense. This is how much I have after not... using or doing any kind of limited summons. This right here, that's not enough for me to clear this and this. It's not enough. I can guarantee you that. So my advice is, because these characters are going to have such a terrible shelf life, I can almost promise you they're going to. It is what it is. The only exception being characters like Byakuya and characters like Kisuke. These two characters, their particular niches or what they do for your team, that's something that can probably stay, that's probably going to survive the test. They're going to do good. Long-term wise, they're still going to be relevant. You're still going to be using them. But unfortunately, when it comes to DPSs, even though Ikaku is my favorite, he's not going to be around for long in terms of being your main DPS, because that's just how these games work, right? But like I said, these guys are not going to age well. They're going to age like spoiled milk. Give it 1-2 weeks. Funnily enough, we're already seeing that Bankai Ichigo was there, and everyone's like, oh my god, best character in the game. This guy comes out, and people already forgot about Bankai Ichigo. They're like, who? Yeah, he's alright, but, Hitsugaya is better. Guarantee you the next character comes out, people are going to be like, Hitsugaya, who? Nah, this guy's better. The next guy comes out, who? Yeah, he's better. And see, these particular characters that are dropping have been leaked too, right? So we know what's coming. And another thing about that is, again, like I said, they're scaled to the content we have, right? So these are all characters. They already got their kits ready. People, the devs already know what they're going to do with these characters. They're not going to make them broken. They're just going to be good for a while, there's no longevity with these characters. So you're wasting your tickets. You're wasting an account. My thing is, wait for all these leaked basic characters to come and drop. Wait for the game to go past Wakemundo And whatever characters come then, so I'm talking around the same time where full Halo Ichigo is gonna drop, and I'm hoping it's gonna be a while from now. After all, after Gin, after Aizen, after Kenpachi, after all these guys, then full Halo Ichigo is gonna drop. Around that time, you can sit down and be like, yeah, okay, let me see if I need this character. Because realistically, going back to what I said at the start, if your basic characters are clearing everything, you literally have no reason to summon. With this currency that's just so scarce, like it's so sparse, right? You're not getting a lot of these, man. You're just not getting a lot of these, bro. So you really gotta be cautious with who you're gonna get and when you're gonna get it. Don't listen to these YouTubers, man. It's all clickbait. You know what I mean? So lock in with the characters that you like. I'm locked in with Ikaku. I don't want to replace this guy as my DPS. I just don't. So the only exception being is going to be like 6 months down the line if I see a character that I really like, yeah, okay, maybe. I'm cool, I'm locked in. Even though these two don't exactly make a team, I'm locked in with Byakuya. He's still doing what he's meant to do. Same thing with Kisuke. Now he fits on any team, but he's doing what I need him to do and he's doing it really well. I'm not switching him out. I got no reason to switch him out. Right? There's not too many events in this game that demand you to have like a full team built. You can mix it up, and that's all you need, really. You know what I mean? So with this, I'm not looking to change them. I'm locked in with these characters, and if you are locked in like I am, you got these 2-3 characters locked in. You don't need to summon whatsoever for months. And you could argue like, that's not really fun. I want to play. I want to see what these different characters are like. You can't do that. Make a side account. You don't have to do it with your main account. You know what I mean? Imagine playing through it again and again and again and just to get like a little bit of these. Like what? No, you don't want to be doing that, bro. You're wasting your time. And at the end of the day, you're going to get frustrated when you don't get the character and you're going to drop the game. And it's just frustrating seeing all these YouTubers be like, you don't need this character and you're going to need that character. If you get Hitsugaya, you're going to need, what's his name? Aizen. You're going to need this, you're going to need that. For what, bro? There's nothing in the game that demands you to have a full team, broken ass, limited characters. Nothing needs it. The only exception, of course, being is the rankings, and the ranking rewards are just so nothing that you're just doing it for no reason, man. And by the time you do get a character that you want to summon for, you're not gonna have anything to summon them with. So this is another trap that people are falling into. And let me tell you, as someone that has played a game that's literally like this, Honkai Star Rail, I see a lot of people wasting their resources and at the end of the day just dropping it because they're like, man, the power creep is real. Savell ain't doing it for me anymore. Or Topaz isn't doing it for me anymore. And if you play that game, you know what I'm talking about. Then comes Castorice. And that DPS is just so broken that you're like, damn, okay, yeah, no, that's number one. And solidified number one. It's been months since their anniversary and nothing comes close to the damage she does. So that's how this game is gonna work too, because the format is exactly the same. So don't listen to these clickbait YouTubers, man. I'm telling you you gotta sum up for that, you gotta sum up for this, blah blah blah. You ain't gotta sum up for anything, right? Lock in with the characters you like from the base banner and use them until you start struggling and you can't clear events anymore. Then story or whatever, you can't basically clear anything anymore. At that point, yeah, you might need to summon. But until then, man, lock in, man. Save your gems. Let's do this. Because for me personally, man, I'm going to wait and see what full Halo Ichigo is like. If he's dead, if he's like whatever, I'm going to skip him too. And I might just chill till an anniversary or a big event. Otherwise, man, I'm not in a rush to summon. Neither should you. Especially if you're free to play. So lock in, man. Lock in with your favorite characters. Right here, this guy right here, it clears everything. Easy.